It's Monday, October 15th. This is PSN News. Penn State celebrated its 99th homecoming this weekend, crowning its first Guide State Forward Award winners.
We'll also bring you more on the reveal of the THON theme for 2019. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Courtney Guyrie.
And I'm Megan Bunke.
Penn State alumni and students lined the streets of campus and downtown State College Friday night for the homecoming parade. Many clubs and organizations showed off their floats, meanwhile other groups performed, including the current and alumni Blue Band. The theme of the parade this year was Guide State Forward. It represented Penn State's past traditions while looking forward to the future. One new tradition for Penn State's homecoming was the gender-neutral courts. Recipients of the new Guide State Forward Award were announced Saturday during halftime. It replaced the previous tradition of crowning homecoming king and queen. Noreen Ahmed and Nick Karafillis were members of this year's court, and they were voted by seniors to be the first-time recipients of this award. Also part of the homecoming weekend festivities was the Pride in Our Community pep rally. Reporter Clara Beltran Del Rio has more.
I'm Clara Beltran Del Rio reporting from the Hub, where Penn State's 2018 Homecoming Pep Rally is being hosted by many student organizations on campus. Many student-run organizations performed routines in front of the monumental stairs. Angelica from Island Fever shares how fun it was performing.
At first it was nerve-wracking, but once the crowd got into it, it was all fun after that.
Flags were brought from all different countries to represent how diverse Penn State campus is. Students share their excitement for homecoming.
Energy, good vibes, and good times all the time.
I'm extremely excited for homecoming.
I think this year's Penn State homecoming is going to be amazing. It's going to be the best of the best. We have some amazing parties this weekend, and of course, the homecoming football game. So I'm ready for that too.
From this year's 2018 Pep Rally, I'm Clara Beltran Del Rio signing off for PSN News.
THON announced its 2019 theme, Shape the Moment, this weekend. A THON executive committee announced the theme before the homecoming parade kicked off Friday evening. It represents that in a battle with many trying moments, THON is there to provide moments that can be shaped into something beautiful. Now that the theme is released, THON volunteers will look towards 100 Days Till THON and the Family Carnival, where THON reveals its logo. Director Maddie Hughes hopes this inspires the community to continue creating valuable moments for 4 Diamond families and all those impacted by childhood cancer.
The latest Mood of the Nation poll shows Americans are, quote, sharply divided over the people who shape political life, end quote. The Penn State McCourtney Institute for Democracy poll uses open-ended questions to let 1,000 adult participants respond in their own words. They describe how certain aspects of politics are making them feel, usually using polarized language. NFL player and activist Colin Kaepernick, special counsel Robert Mueller, and Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh are among the handful of public figures drawing out these responses.
On the 30th anniversary of National Coming Out Day, the LGBTQA Student Resource Center hosted its annual National Coming Out Day rally. It took place Thursday in the Hub Robinson Center. Nearly a dozen individuals came out for the first time or retold their original stories of coming out or becoming an ally. Chelsea Wood, the Academic Affairs Committee Chair on Student Government, started the event with a speech on acceptance. Another student spoke about her experience on finding a safe space in the campus organization, Queer and Trans People of Color. The center's director, Brian Prochaski, closed the rally by challenging everybody to take action and move the community forward. He said coming out matters and there is still a lot of work to do. Field reporter Chase McCartney was there with the story.
People gathered in the Hub Robeson Center Thursday afternoon to celebrate National Coming Out Day. Students of all different organizations, along with staff and faculty, united to share experiences and send a message that no one is alone.
A person's sexual orientation should not be criticized or shamed by those whose ignorance prevents them from seeing the person's true value to this world.
Penn State is an amazing place to support all of your identities, each and every one.
Coming out is a thing for you. You don't need to come out for anybody else rather than you are ready to be out. You don't need to come out because your friends want you to be out. You don't need to come out because your family wants you to be out. You don't need to come out because anybody else wants you to come out unless you want to come out.
I visited another 2 times, and on my 3rd time here on the way home, I kind of applied to Penn State.
When I walk around Penn State, it's a wonderful privilege.
Director of the Penn State LGBTQA Student Resource Center, Brian Pachkowski, spoke about what National Coming Out Day means to him.
This day is really about empowerment and allowing folks to speak their truths and honoring that in a space that is very vibrant in the Hub, and recognizing that we are all a part of Penn State.
We are Penn State, and I'm happy to say our home is open to anyone who comes out. Reporting for PSN TV News, I'm Chase McCartney. Back to you.
Coming up next, we have a special interview with graduate assistant at Penn State's Gender Equity Center to talk about the events during Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Hello and welcome back to PSN News. Tonight we have Shannon DeHoff, a graduate assistant at Penn State's Gender Equity Center, with us to talk about some events going on this month as a part of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thanks for being here, Shannon.
Thanks for having me.
So, can you tell us about the mission of the Gender Equity Center and what your role is as a graduate assistant?
Sure. As a graduate assistant, I oversee the peer education groups that are hosted within the office, and those are FREE, Peers Helping Reaffirm, Educate, and Empower, which is primarily a female-based group, and Men Against Violence, or MAV, which is a male-based group. I also oversee and execute Greeks Care, which is a 6-week sexual assault prevention program for the fraternities and sororities on campus. And I do general educational programming, going into classrooms and talking about our office. And we also provide confidential support and advocacy for students who have been affected by sexual assault or other forms of violence on campus.
Okay, and we heard there's a speaker tonight, Taylor Armstrong.
Yeah.
Why did the center choose to host her?
Taylor Armstrong actually has a very close personal connection with domestic violence. She is a survivor herself. She was in a very abusive marriage with her husband that she recently got out of, and she has a lot of great name recognition. She was on Beverly Hills, Housewives of Beverly Hills, so we hope that she brings a lot of students out.
Is there any other events the center is hosting?
Yeah, next Monday is Light the Night. That'll be at 7 p.m. on Old Main Lawn, and we have about 500 luminaries that'll be lit up to support survivors of sexual violence as well as those who have died from it.
Do you think this will help bring awareness towards the whole domestic violence cause and help people understand it more just by hearing about it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the hope. You can never destigmatize something if you don't talk about it. So the more that we can educate people, the more that people can get involved, hopefully that will lead to eradicating the violence.
Why is it so important to recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month?
Sure, because every minute, approximately 20 people in the United States are physically beaten by their partner. So 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will be affected by domestic violence at some point in their life, and 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will be victims of severe violence in their lifetime.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for coming to talk with Shannon. Up next, Megan Drakos will bring you the latest in entertainment news. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Megan Drakos with your entertainment update. More than 70 people went over the edge last Thursday. That is, over the edge of a 12-story building. The event held downtown at the Fraser Center helped raise money for 2 nonprofits that support many low-income Center County families. Each individual who rappelled down the side of the 155-foot-tall building was required to raise a minimum of $1,000. The money raised benefited both the Interfaith Human Services and Faith Center. State College Mayor THON even joined in on the occasion, stating, "It's important to remember there are people out there who need the help of their neighbors." This is the first time an Over the Edge event has been held in State College. R&B pop sensation Justin Timberlake is bringing the Man of the Woods tour to State College tonight. Timberlake is set to kick off the show at the Bryce Jordan Center at 7:30 p.m. with R&B opener The Shadowboxes. According to a set list online, Timberlake is performing some of his most popular hits, including Mirrors, Say Something, and Can't Stop the Feeling. Timberlake is currently in his third leg of the tour. During the first 5 weeks of the show, Billboard magazine reported the production brought in close to $37 million. This is Timberlake's first ever performance in Happy Valley. It was homecoming this past weekend in Happy Valley, and that means it was time for the annual homecoming parade. Reporter Michael Sneff was there to break down all the incredible sights from this year's event.
Hello Nittany Nation, Michael Sneff reporting for PSN News in front of the Lion Shrine. Welcome to Homecoming Weekend 2018. After a fun week of carnivals and talent shows, we are finally here for the largest student-run parade in the country. The parade will start at the Bryce Jordan Center right next to Beaver Stadium and will cut all the way through campus and end up right here at the Lion Shrine, arguably one of Penn State's most iconic sites. Let's tune in to all the action.
Penn State Homecoming is not just limited to a weekend celebration of school spirit. Throughout the week, the Penn State Homecoming Committee hosted numerous events, including the previously mentioned carnivals and talent shows, to a jam session on Allen Street and an ice cream social, all culminating towards Friday night's parade. Spectators lined the streets as dozens of floats and cars rode their way through downtown State College. Notable floats included the Grand Marshals and this year's Student, Alumni, University, and Graduate Courts. I got the chance to catch up with Dominique Servati, a media relations captain for the Homecoming Committee, on everything that went into this year's celebration and events.
Homecoming truly is a year-round effort. We started working on this in February, and we had meetings weekly where we would discuss upcoming events and how to best get the word out, how to get other students excited to come to these events to celebrate their Penn State pride. But each event, there was a lot of thought and a lot of time and energy put into each event that went on. We wanted to make sure that all students were excited to share in this experience. Homecoming is kind of on a perpetual movement to really get the student body more involved in homecoming and encourage them to appreciate the fact that they go to Penn State, the fact that this is such an incredible institution with the largest alumni network, and it's all about celebrating that. And I think getting the word out as being like, you go to this incredible school, let's celebrate, let's do this together.
As you can see, Penn State pride is as prevalent as ever on homecoming weekend, and you can really see the entire valley come together to prove what makes Penn State, Penn State. Reporting for Penn State Network News, I'm Michael Sneff.
Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson have officially split. The pair reportedly broke off their 5-month engagement this weekend. Sources close to the individual stated it was not the right time for their relationship to take off. However, the pair isn't ruling out the possibility of a reconciliation in the future. Recently, Grande has said on social media she's been going through a rough patch. Just this past month, Grande's ex-boyfriend of almost 2 years, Mac Miller, died from a drug overdose. Grande has reportedly been devastated over the loss, and this may have contributed to a breakup with Davidson. That's your entertainment update. Stay tuned because after the break, Kylie Hill has the latest in sports.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Kylie Hill with your sports update. In a shocking upset, the Penn State Nittany Lions fell to the Michigan State Spartans 21-17 on Saturday. The Spartans rallied for a late touchdown with 25 seconds left in the game. Penn State's offense was an issue yet again in its second loss of the season. Running back Miles Sanders was the lone bright spot for this Penn State offense. Sanders racked up 162 yards on 16 carries against the Spartans' tough defense. It seemed as though the Nittany Lions would be able to take on Michigan State and leave Happy Valley with an at-home victory. But a defense breakdown at the worst time did the team in. Number 9 Penn State's women's volleyball wore their hearts on their sleeve as they came from behind on a 5-set victory against number 5 Nebraska. The last time Penn State faced the Big Ten foe was in November 2014. Redshirt junior Tori Gorell shined in the opener, going 4-0-4 in the set. Kendall White was another bright spot in the game. White scooped up an impressive 13 digs. Nebraska led in every statistical category except digs. Penn State returns to the floor on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for a match against Rutgers that will air on the Big Ten Network. In Week 6 of NFL football, the Pittsburgh Steelers dominated the field against the Cincinnati Bengals with a 28-21 victory. Ben Roethlisberger connected with Antonio Brown for the game-winning touchdown. A 31-yard touchdown pass straight up the middle could not have come at a more critical time. The Steelers' next game will be against the Cleveland Browns on October 28th. Will they be able to keep the winning streak alive? That was your sports update. We'll have this week's weather report after the break. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon, everyone. Fall has officially arrived now with some of those cooler temperatures that we saw over this past weekend, but not really a whole lot like that today. A little bit warmer and kind of rainy out, but the good news is things will likely dry out then by this time tomorrow, and we could possibly see our first flakes of snow later this week then, but I'll get to more of that in our 7-day forecast in just a bit. First, let's take a live shot out at Nittany Valley. You can see those very dense clouds. Some places are beginning to see a little bit of drizzle, in some spots a few showers, as temperatures outside 61 degrees here in State College, and it's about the same story across the surrounding area. 63 in Selinsgrove, a little bit cooler actually down in Altoona, but across the large portion of the state we have a little bit of a southerly flow here that is bringing these warmer temperatures and allowing us to see some of the rain that we will experience later this afternoon and this evening. And seeing the SAT-RAD right now, you can see just kind of a few scattered pockets of showers here. But the good news is it's going to be fairly short-lived. These showers will likely make their way across the state probably about the time you're finishing up dinner later this evening. And as those rain showers move off to the east, they will take the clouds with it, and things will likely clear out then for your tomorrow and also into Wednesday then as well. But warm temperatures are unfortunately not going to be staying. As the rain moves, it'll take the warm temperatures along with it, and behind it you can see the cooler temperatures with that northwesterly flow begin to make their way into the region. And when you wake up for your morning commute tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little bit cooler than what you saw this morning. 37 degrees maybe here in State College, so a large portion of the state temperatures will be in the mid to upper 30s to start off your morning, and things aren't really going to warm up a whole lot then tomorrow. Struggling to hit the 50-degree mark tomorrow, so going to feel a little bit more like it did this past weekend than it felt today. But otherwise, for tonight, temperatures will drop down into the upper 30s as those showers do decrease, but the winds will pick up with that northwesterly flow, so expect some fairly breezy conditions then later this evening. But like I said, for tomorrow, temperatures will struggle to hit 50 degrees, but the good news is the sun will make an appearance, so should see some fairly sunny skies. But as we're beginning to see a little bit more of these cooler temperatures more often, things I think will begin to look a little bit more like fall then as well. That moderate color in the fall foliage just beginning to creep its way towards here in Center County. And as we take a look at the rest of our 7-day forecast, temperatures will remain quite cool then for the middle of the week, Wednesday and Thursday in the upper 40s, with a low Wednesday night right around the freezing point, so watch out for that. And as we look then towards the end of the week, Friday and Saturday, temperatures do begin to warm back up into the mid-50s, where we could see another chance of some showers. But temperatures drop back down then for Sunday, where we could maybe, just maybe, begin to see our first snow flurries of the season. So Old Man Winter is not all that far off. Thanks for watching. I am Ross Mull with the Penn State Campus Weather Service. Have a great rest of your evening.
President Donald Trump is vowing to figure out what happened to a Washington Post columnist. Jamal Khashoggi was named missing after going into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul earlier this month and not coming back out. Trump said in a 60 Minutes interview there will be, quote, severe punishment if the Saudi government ordered Khashoggi's killing. A source told CNN that Turkish authorities have proof of the killing, but the Saudi government denies all accusations and says the reports are all lies. Trump says he is in a difficult position because he does not want to destroy America's close ties with the Saudi Arabia, but Trump, along with Turkish governments and Khashoggi's fiancée, are continuing to demand answers.
Crews continue searching Saturday for thousands of people reported missing after Hurricane Michael ravaged Florida's panhandle. Nearly 300 people stayed behind as the Category 4 storm hit. As of Saturday evening, the death toll had risen to 18. Long lines have formed at distribution centers where authorities are giving out food and water to those in need. The National Guard arrived Wednesday and spent the last few days clearing roadways and distributing supplies. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has supplied more than 700,000 meals and more than 1 million liters of water. Power and cell phone services are starting to be restored in parts of Florida, but state emergency management officials reported Saturday that nearly 264,000 customers are without electricity in the state.
Within hours of the Senate vote confirming Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court, hundreds of ads funded by Democratic groups appeared on Facebook. They show just how outraged some people are, and in September, sexual misconduct allegations were made against Kavanaugh by Christine Blasey Ford. Ford came forward about an incident from 1982, but Kavanaugh continues to deny it. Democratic candidates and groups lobbied heavily against Kavanaugh, and they spent far more money on Facebook ads than Republicans. This allowed them to reach over 4 million screens. Both sides see the Kavanaugh confirmation as a way to rile up voters just in time for the midterm elections.
President Donald Trump said in August he was looking for roughly $5 billion in wall funding for the coming year. On Monday, House Speaker Paul Ryan predicted a big fight over border security on the horizon. Meanwhile, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said the GOP is committed to working to secure funding that the president wants for his signature campaign pledge. Republican leaders managed to avoid a battle over border funding until after November elections. However, there are questions about a potential partial shutdown. GOP leaders are dismissing the possibility while predicting a funding fight. If there's a shutdown after midterms, McConnell claims that the only portion of the government not funded yet will be affected.
And that's all we have tonight for PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter at PSN News. Thank you for joining us.